Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 10:10 in Honolulu, 4:10 in New York. It is Monday, 22nd day of August, and we are looking at a mixed bag in U.S. equities today, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average along with the Standard & Poor's trading slightly lower, NASDAQ trading slightly higher on the day. Dow Jones Industrial Average 18,529, putting it off about 23 points on the day. Net change about 0.1%. Very, very little change in the Standard & Poor's. In essence, unchanged, off about 0.5 point at 2181 and change. And then NASDAQ is trading nominally higher to unchanged at 4811.75. Of course, this is the NASDAQ 100 E-mini. And lastly, and I think of very, very noteworthy, we will definitely want to look at a chart on this today, but oil down dramatically, down about 3% on the day, $1.47 in terms of the net drawdown. Crude oil trading at 47.05. So traders, absolutely no doubt, market kind of on pins and needles as Jackson Hole gets underway this week, and traders and investors attempt to get some sort of read on the Fed. Of course, Fisher came out today, and he's quite hawkish on the market. That's what sent precious metals lower on the day, of course. But when we take a look at the U.S. equities, I think we've got an interesting activity going on. First of all, now, we're looking at the Standard & Poor's 500, this being the E-mini. We talked about the fact that we had this real ceiling in the market, this, of course, through the month of July, because just prior to that, August was really that sounding board. Beginning of July, we come in and just take out any of our previous record highs and kind of mute them in terms of where they're at. And then we talked about this pattern called a scouting party, in which the bulls go and test the fortitude of the bears. And then we talked about really what you look for is called that beachhead. So you get the market trading above an area that was absolutely an area of resistance. I think we've got that right in here without a question of a doubt. And then that beachhead, in essence, is the area in which you've got a kind of a pivot point in which what was formerly resistance is now support. We're certainly getting that right here because, as you can see, even with these lows, again, we're looking at a daily chart, but even with these lows, they typically do not go into that former resistance area because that's now a supportive area. And so you might get a small dip in that area, but as a whole, we've seen this market trade above that. That tells me that we could be looking at a market that's consolidating and getting set up to move to a new record high, to move higher, but anywhere this market moves higher, of course, would be a new record high. That's my current read on U.S. equities. And traders, as we spoke about at the beginning of the show, of the three indexes we look at, Dow Jones, S&P, and NASDAQ, NASDAQ was the only index to close higher, and the NASDAQ has really found a life of its own as it has been trading much stronger than the other two indexes that we look at. NASDAQ 100 E-mini, it's in essence unchanged, but up 3.25 points at 48.10. Do want to take a look at oil today because oil just got slammed in the market. I've just gone ahead and pulled up our daily chart. Let me go ahead and blow this up a little bit. And I think that many of our subscribers at this point will recognize this 3-day pattern pretty easily because it's something that we typically look for in a marketplace as a potential pivot point for a market that's about to move lower or to move higher. Now, it's a three-river star. In this case, it's in the evening position, a three-river evening star. First, you have to have a defined uptrend. Absolutely have that. You have to have a green candle, which means that the last or the first candle of that pattern has to be a pretty sizable move. That followed by a small bodied candle gapped above the green candle. Color, by the way, on this star right here is irrelevant. It could be red or it could be green. We're looking at body size and not where the market opened compared to where it's closed. And then it's finally capped, of course, when we have that final candle, which is going to be a strong dominating downward candle or red candle. As you know, we would not initiate a trade based upon this unless we got confirmation. And confirmation for any down pivot candle is got to be a following day, has to be a red candle. Let me go ahead and kind of change my color scheme here, but it's got to be a red candle with a lower low and a lower high. It would look something like this. That would be your confirming candle, and it would actually issue a sell signal. If this market continues to go lower, first place we would look for support has got to be about 46, and it's just based on these typical areas. But let's see if this market continues tomorrow. But this is absolutely a sign that we could be looking at a potential pivot after seeing this market move from what? $39 up to $49. This could be that key pivot point moving this market back lower. This has been Gary Wagner wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you tomorrow for another Trending Markets. Bye-bye.